Let's unite and turn the other way. Doing everything we can to end the war and live together once more in friendship and beauty. What a schmuck. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this Collaborator. He's the interim governor of the Kherson occupied Oblast. He was one of the people who were involved in the formal process in Russia to annex Kherson, which is one of the oblasts that Russia illegally invaded and annexed, and tried to rubber stamp with a fraudulent and rigged referendum. So this guy is a collaborator. This is somebody who's betrayed his countrymen, backstabbed his country, but he seems to be a little worried because in this video, he reverts to Ukrainian and pleads to forget everything that happened because he's making a call for unity, which, you know, isn't the best sign about how you think this conflict's gonna go when we're all waiting for a counteroffensive and you're making like a, you know, maybe we should forget about this whole, you know, maybe we should forget this whole thing even happened. Let's see what the guy had to say. I want to personally address the Ukrainian soldiers. Oh boy, this should be good. The traitor is going to address the Ukrainian soldiers. Okay, interested. Guys, you're simply being taken for fools. They tell you we are enemies, but we are not enemies. I don't know, man. Like, if somebody took my family, executed them all, and put them in a mass grave, probably wouldn't be my friend. Please understand that, for the most part, we're family. There was a time, I mean, like, it is true that most murders of, like, murders are people you know, most rapes and most murders, those types of crimes are people you know, they're not strangers. So maybe it's like a domestic violence situation. There was a time where we might have disagreed, or perhaps we didn't, but we have everything we need to put our disputes behind us. And remember that our grandparents and parents are the same. Our children should live in a beautiful, vibrant country. In this country, we do everything to ensure their happiness. You know what angers me when I hear this? Not only the kind of erasure of Ukraine, they're like, oh, one big old country, you know, they kind of, oh, we're all the same. Nah, there seems to be some language difference and some cultural differences. If there wasn't a difference, then why do they have to ban Ukrainian? Why does Ukrainian even exist if there isn't a difference? Why does the Ukrainian national identity exist in the first place if there isn't a difference? But him saying, oh, we live in, this is a big, beautiful country. I'm in the Kharkiv Oblast filming with the miners. Tomorrow is my last day filming out here. My boys rotated out. There's not much more of a reason for me to be here. I'm going to do one more day of filming in case I get something really good on camera. And then I'm going to be heading back to Kiev this weekend. I have seen so much garbage in these trenches left behind by Russian soldiers. These Russian trenches and foxholes are like tumors in the countryside. The bombs that they have left behind, the MON 50s, MON 100, the MON 200, the MON 20s, the TM62, the TM62Ms, the grenades and tripwires that have killed civilians, that have killed emergency service workers, that have killed animals, that have killed the wildlife. That doesn't, if you think it's a beautiful country, why are you so determined to scar it so permanently? The estimates that I'm currently being told for the amount of time it's going to take to demine Ukraine under current conditions is more than 70 years. And that was like 5 months ago. Now, the estimate's probably even higher to like 80 years. It can go up to 100 years. It's going to be like Cambodia, where you're going to have, and this is a terrible tragedy of it, you're going to have children for years just randomly blowing up, playing in the forest because they stumbled upon a Russian tripwire left behind by Russian sappers. If it's a beautiful country, why are you trying to scar the countryside and make the only bountiful harvest that farmers can collect is one of death if they try to farm in their fields? Yeah, beautiful country, and they're actively trying to ruin it. Think about those standing behind you, pushing you to fight. We know you don't want to fight, yet the Ukrainian people have been so frightened that they're scared to say they can't fight, don't want to fight. All the polling data that I've seen seems to indicate that they're not willing to make the concessions necessary to the Russians for the Russians to say, you know what, you're giving us everything we need. They're not willing to give up half their neighbors to permanent occupation, torture, filtration camps, re-education, and that is what's happening. They're kidnapping Ukrainian children and re-educating them in facilities in Siberia and across Russia, extrajudicial killings, and all the other types of things they are doing to try to erase by force the Ukrainian national identity so they can more easily enforce their occupation amongst the civilian population in the occupied territories. Let the Americans try fighting with the weapons they provide. Actually, there are Americans fighting in the International Legion. That is happening. We see they openly admit the Minsk agreements were designed to deceive us all, pretending to help resolve the conflict. Yet they prepared us for this conflict for 9 years, leading to a loss of life and destruction of cities. Wait, really? America bombed cities? Oh wait, I didn't know that. Does anybody have a link on that? A source? Sorry, America was the one who bombed those Ukrainian cities? Oh, it wasn't America. Was it the UK? Was it France? Who wiped the city of Popasna off the face of the earth, made it so it literally that even the Russians say they're not going to rebuild it because there's no point in it? Well, why are the majority of the buildings in Mariupol unusable? Why is Bakhmut no more than a pile of rubble? Well, was it American bombs dropped by American planes? Or was it Russian bombs fired out of Russian cannons? Very interesting. I'm telling you the truth. For instance, in Russia, monuments related to Ukrainian art and famous Ukrainians are not destroyed. Actually, people are actively... I've seen people get arrested, reports of Russians getting arrested for just wearing blue and yellow. And not even like Ukrainian blue and yellow, just like blue and yellow tracksuits. Get out of here. Memorial sites dedicated to Ukrainian people exist throughout Russia. But look at what's happening here. This kind of disgrace is happening only in Ukraine, where monuments are being destroyed and streets are being erased. This is the mockery of a Nazi regime that doesn't care about our fate. Man, I don't know many Nazi regimes that enshrine workplace protections for trans and LGBTQ plus people. I don't know many Nazi regimes led by a Jew whose family was killed in the Holocaust. I don't know many Nazi regimes that release speeches about the victory over Nazism. Doesn't sound like too much of a Nazi regime to me. Oh, you remember when the Nazis considered that legislation in the Reichstag that was like, should we legalize civil partnerships? I forgot that. You know, I think that I'm drawing a blank on that, but it must have happened because the Ukrainians are doing that now. And if it's a Nazi regime, I mean, oof. Man, it's a little confusing, to be honest. You'll simply become slaves to this violence. So let's forget about what has happened. The Bucha, the massacres, the bombing, just forget it. How about we forget it? Come on, please, don't. You don't need to take back your cities. Come on, you don't need to do that. Just surrender. Just give up your country. Come on. I promise we won't torture you much. Let's unite and turn the other way. Doing everything we can to end the war and live together once more in friendship and beauty. What a schmuck. What a schmuck.